Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3. We'll present our material about leaf or volume. And I'm Dea Mutmaina Ramadhani as moderator, and my partner is Alfa Najla and Safia Anissa. Alright, let's start to the first material about concept and function of leaf that will be presented by me. Leaf concept. Leaves are lateral organs that are generally flattened and grow on the stem. The leaves develop from the nodes and come from the apical meristem of the shoots. The main function of leaf is for photosynthesis and food production. In addition, axillary buds are found in the axils of the leaf, which can later develop into branch. A leaf on a plant are called phylum. Leaf function. The main function of leaves includes photosynthesis. The leaves are the main site of photosynthesis, which allow plants to produce their own food using sunlight. And the second function is transpiration. Leaves help in water evaporation, which is important for plant temperature balance and water absorption from the roots. And the third is gas exchange. Stomata on the leaf surface allow the entry and exit of oxygen and carbon dioxide required in respiration and photosynthesis. And the last function is modification for additional functions. In some plants, leaf can undergo modification for special function, such as tendril, modified aid in climbing, as in Nepenthes. And the second is pilot, dilated petiole that function like a leaf, as in Australian Acacia. Fresh leaf stores water in succulent plants such as cactus. And the last modification is sachet leaf, serve to catch insects like in Nepenthes. Next is leaf growth. Leaf growth originates from the apical meristem of the bud and follows an axial growth pattern. This process is controlled by internal factors such as hormone, as well as external factors such as light and nutrients. First is leaf growth phase. The leaf or leaf initiation. The leaf comes from the leaf primordium, which is a small protrusion that emerges from a meristem of the shoot. This growth is influenced by the hormone auxin, which determines the direction of tissue development. And next is leaf development. After primordium is formed, there is a cell expansion that causes the leaflets to enlarge. This process is controlled by cytokinins, which play a role in cell division and formation of vascular tissue. The next is leaf maturation. The leaf undergo tissue differentiation, forming stomata, photosynthetic tissue or mesophyll, and vascular system, xylem and phloem. At this stage, the leaf begins to actively photosynthesize. And the next is leaf senescence and abscission. The leaf aging is characterized by the degradation of chlorophyll so that the leaf changes color to yellow or red. This process is accelerated by the hormone ethylene and occurs before the leaf falls. Next is factor affecting leaf growth. There are two factors such as internal factors and external factors. The internal factors is genetics and hormones. Genetics is determine the size, shape, and growth patterns of leaf, and the hormones such as auxin, cytokinin, and gibberellin play a role in development and enlargement of the lips. And the external factors is such as light, nutrients, and temperatures. In light, the intensity of light affects the size of the leaves and the rate of photosynthesis, and in nutrients, nitrogen deficiency can inhibit leaf growth and lead to chlorosis, and the low temperature slow growth, while high temperature can increase the rate of transpiration. The next is leaf growth variation. Some plants exhibit heteropyry, variation in leaf shape in a single individual. Heteropyry is development leaf change shape as a plant growth. The example is cotton and buttercup. The second is environmental heteropyry, is change in leaf shape depending on environmental condition. The example is limnophylla and buttercup. The last variation is genetic heteropyry, is influenced by genetic factors. Example is larkspur and coriander. The next is completeness or leaf parts. The first is main parts of leaf. The leaf consists of the three main parts. The first is the leaf base or hypopodium, the place of attachment of leaf to the stem or branch. In some plants, there are stipules, which are small structures resembling the leaf at the base of the leaf. In monocot plants such as rice and bananas, the base of the leaf enlarges and forms fronds that surround the stem. And the second part is petiole or mesopodium, connecting the leaf sheath with the stem. Its main function is to support and adjust the orientation of the leaf so that they get optimal sunlight. In some species, petiolus is modified. For example, nepenthes in petiolus were modified into tendrils. And in second example is Australian Acacia, is petiolus developed into petiole, replacing the function of the lamina. And the third main part is leaf sheath, lamina or epipodium. The main part of the leaf is wide and flattened, serving as a place for photosynthesis and transpiration. It is composed of mesophyll tissue with xylem and phloem that aid in the transport of substance. Lamina forms are diverse, such as ovate, example ocimum, lanceolate, example bamboo, and cordate, example betel. Type of leaf. Type of leaf is there are based on leaf structure and arrangement, and then based on the shape of the leaf sheath. For the based on leaf structure and arrangement, there are two main types. The first is simple leaf and compound leaf. For the simple leaf, it has only one leaf that is not divided into leaflets. For example, is mango and guava. For the compound leaf, the leaf plates are divided into several leaflets arranged on one main stalk. It is divided into main types. There are palmately compound leaf and pinnately compound leaf. For palmately compound leaf, all the leaflets are attached to a single point at the tip of the petiole. For example, is unifoliate or single leaf is lemon or citrus. And the first is that the first example, and the second example is bifoliate. It's Bahlia, trifoliate, oxalis, strefoliate, Marsilia, and multifoliate is Bombyx. And for the pinnately compound leaf, the leaflets are arranged on the main shaft, resembling an arrangement of fish fins. For example, is Unipiates, bipinnates, tripinnates, and the compound. The compound is more than 3 pincers, such as carrot or coriander. Next is based on the shape of the leaf sheath. There are such as acicular, for example, is pineapple, and the second is lanceolate, example bamboo, linear, example grass, ovates, example ocimum, cordate, example betel, oblong, example banana, sagittate, example sagittaria, and orbical, example lotus. Okay, that's all from me. The next material will be presented by Alfa Najwa.
Okay, I will explain the next material. It's about general shape of leaf. Leaf shape vary depending on the widest part of the leaf. They are categorized as follows. 1. Leaf with the widest part in the middle. There are round or orbiculate, equal width and length like a lotus leaf or Nelumbo nucifera. And the next is shell shape or peltate, round with the petiole attached at the center like castor bean or Ricinus communis. The next is elliptical or elliptic, oval with a length to width ratio of about 1.5 to 2, like jackfruit or Artocarpus heteropilus. The next is oblong, elongated with a length to width ratio of 2.5 to 3, like soursop or Annona muricata. And the next is lanceolate, long and narrow with a length to width ratio of 3 to 5, like frangipani or plumeria. 2. Leaf with the widest part near the base. There are ovate, egg-shaped, broader at the base, like Hibiscus rosa sinensis. The next is triangular or triangulate, three-sided like 4 o'clock flower or Mirabilis jalapa. The next is delta shape or deltoid, similar to a triangle but with slightly rounded edge, like Antigonon leptopus. The next is diamond shape or rhombic, symmetrical diamond-like shape like yam bean or Pachyrhizos erosus. The next is heart shape or cordate, ovate with a deep notch at the base like the leaf of the waru tree or Hibiscus tiliaceus. The next is kidney shape or reniform, rounded like Gotucola or Centella asiatica. The next is arrowhead shape or sagittate, point at the tip with deep, sharp basal lobes like arrowhead or Sagittaria saggitifolia. And the next is spear shape or hastage, similar to arrowhead but with a broader base like Monocoria hastata. 3. Leaf with the widest part near the tip. There are inverted ovate or obovate, the reverse of ovate like Manilkara zapota. The next is invert heart shape or upcordate, like an upside down heart like mountain clover or Marsilia serenata. And the next is invert triangular or invert triangular, similar to a reverse triangle like regular clover or trivolume. And the next is spatula shape or spatulate, broad at the tip and narrow at the base like Elephantopus caber. And the next is invert lanceolate or oblanceolate, the reverse of lanceolate. 4. Leaf with an even width throughout. There are ribbon-like or ligulatus, thin and long with parallel edge like sugarcane or Saccharum officinarum. The next is sword-like or ensiformis, long and rugged with tapering edge like agave or agave sp. The next is owl-shaped or subulatus, cylindrical and tapering to sharp point like Araucaria cunninghami. And the next is needle-like Acerasus, very thin and cylindrical like pine or Pinus mercusi. As we can see in this slide, there is a general shape of the leaf, like oval, lanceolate, obovate, elliptical, spatulate, cordate, oblanceolate, obcordate, oblong, linear, peltate, cuneate, reniform, and hastage. Okay, the next material is about shape of the leaf tip or apex foliage. The shape of the leaf tip varies and can help in plant identification. Here are some common types of leaf tips. One is acute or runching, sharp and point. Two is acuminate or merunching, gradually tapering. And three is obtuse or tumpul, blunt or rounded. And four is rounded or membulat, completely round. And five is truncate or rumpang, truncate or appearing cut off. And six is emarginate or terbelah, cleft or notch. And seven is macronate or cuspidate or borduri, spine tip. And this slide show us the type of apex foliage. Next is about shape of the leaf base or basis foliage. The shape of the leaf base varies and can help in plant classification. And here are the common type of leaf base. One is acute, the base taper to a sharp angle, less 90. Two is acuminate, the base is similar to acute but more gradually tapering. Three is obtuse, the base meets at an obtuse angle, more 90, forming a broad shape. And four is rounded, the base forms a smooth curve without sharp angles. And five is truncate or appearing cut off trait. And the last one is cordate, heart shape with a deep notch. In this slide, we can see the type of basis foliage. Okay, next is about shape of leaf margins or margo foliage. One is smooth and even margins, entire or integra. The edge of the leaf is smooth without any indentation or serration. Two small and shallow serrations. There are serrate. The margin has sharp, so like teeth pointing toward the leaf tip. And the next is doubly serrate. Each serration has smaller serration on it. And the next is dentate. The margin has large, sharp teeth that point outward rather than forward. And the next is crenate. The margin has rounded scallop teeth. The next is undulate. The edge of the leaf is wavy. 3. Deeply lobed or divided margins. There is a lobe sinus less than halfway to midrib. The indentations are not too deep and do not reach the midrib. The next is cleft, sinus about halfway to midrib. The indentations extend about halfway to the midrib. And the next is divided or sinus more than halfway to midrib. The indentations is almost reach the midrib, making the leaf look like separate parts. Okay, this is a type of margo foliage, like ciliate, crenate, dentate, denticulate, doubly serrate, entire, lobate, serrate, cerulate, sinuate, spiny, and undulate. Okay, next is about shape of leaf veins or nervaceo. The shape of the leaf tip varies and can help in plant identification. Here are some common type of leaf tips. One is pinnate or many rib. There is the type of pinnate. Example like mango or mango leaf or Mangifera indica or guava, Oncidium guajava. Two is palmate or manjari, and we can see papaya leaf or carica papaya, and cotton or gossypium. Three is curve or melangkung, and we can see an jackfruit leaf, Artocarpus heterophyllus, or banyan tree, or Ficus bengalensis. Four is parallel or sejajar, and we can see and grasses leaf or sugarcane leaf, Saccharum officinarum, and also in rice leaf or Eriza sativa. And the last one is dichotamus, and we can see in the ginkgo biloba leaf. Okay, that's all from me. Giving back to the moderator.
Thanks to moderator, I will be explain about the next material is about leaflets or intervenium. What is the leaflets? Leaflets is the part of the leaf blade is the leaf between the leaf bone. The leaflets consist of epidermal and mesophyll tissues. Properties of leaflets. First is thin like a membrane or membranaceous. For example, on the leaf on the membranaceous form or Hymenopilum austral wheel. The second is thin like paper. Thin but quite thick, for example on banana leaf or Musa paradisiaca. The third is thin like skin or bones, or corlaceous. Thick and stiff leaf blades, for example on the leaf of the nyamplung or Calopilum inopilum. And the fourth is thin and soft, or herbaceous. For example in watercress leaf or Nasturtium finale. And the fifth is thin like parchment or parchmenteous, thin but quite stiff, for example in coconut leaf or Cactus nacifera. And the last is fleshy or carnosus, thick and juicy, for example in aloe vera leaf or aloe sp. And the next is the leaf color. The green color of the leaf is actually the color contained in the flesh of the leaf, such as red, mostly yellow. It is the flesh that the color is found. The thickness of the leaf blade also depends on the thickness of the leaflets. The first leaf color is green mixed or covered with red. For example, is various leaf of Craton Codium variegatum. The second is red, for example of the leaf of the squirrel tail flower. The third is dark green, for example on nyamplung leaf, and the fourth is yellowish green, for example on the leaf of the gani plant. The next is leaf surface. The leaf surface is the upper side of the leaf that can have various texture, such as smooth, wrinkled, grooved, hairy, or rigid. The leaf surface also has a layer of epicuticular wax that functions to keep the leaf moist. Leaf surface. First is slippery or leafish, indicates the leaf surface look. One is shiny or nitidus. Upper side of coffee leaf or Coffee Robusta linden, and banyan. The second is gloomy or opacus, for example, sweet potato leaf. And the third is waxy or proinosus, for example, the underside of banana leaf and prayer bed leaf. The fourth is bulb or glaber, for example, water apple leaf. And the fifth is coarse or scaber, for example, thick leaf. And the sixth is crinkled or rugosus, example, leaf or jarong and guava. The seventh is circular or bullatus, like wrinkles, but the wrinkles are larger, example, bright tear leaf. And the eighth is hairy or pilasus, if the hairs are fine and sparse, example is tobacco. And the next is fine and dense fur or pilasus, so hairy that when touched it feels like lichen or velvet. And the next is core hair or hispidus, if the hair is stiff and feel rugged to the tops like the leaf of gadung. And the last is scaly or lepidus, like the underside of durian or Durio zepentinus leaf. Next is leaf joints. A leaf joint is a connection between the petiole and stem that allows the leaf to move or change position. These structures are also called leaf articulation and are found in some plants, especially those with compound leaf. Function of the leaf joints. One is flexibility of movement, allows the leaf to move in response to sunlight or reduce wind resistance to prevent damage. The second is photosynthesis efficiency, help adjust the leaf position, maximize sunlight exposure. And the third is reducing excessive water loss. Some plants can change their leaf orientation to minimize water loss due to excessive transpiration. And the last is leaf slip movement or nixtinesty. In some plants, such as legumes, the leaf joint enable leaves to fall at night, reducing water loss or protecting them from cool temperature. Next is type of the leaf joint. First is fixed joints. Leaves are typically attached to the stem without free movement. An example is the leaf of many woody plants such as the mango. The second is articulate joints. Leaves have segments of hinges at the base of the stem, allowing for small movement, especially to adjust position in relation to light. Examples include the leaf of the lamtoro and the mimosa. The third is pulvinous joints, a swollen structure at the base of the petiole containing motor cell, enabling movement such as nixtinesty or tropic response. Example include soybean and rain tree. The fourth is sheathing joints. The leaf base forms a sheath and the wood around the stem, commonly found in grass and monocot plants. Examples include rice and banana. Next is stipule or supporting leaf. Stipules are paired leaf-like structures that grow at the base of a leaf stalk or petiole. In some plant species, they generally help protect young, developing leaves or contribute to photosynthesis if they are large enough. Function of stipule first is protecting young leaf buds. Stipule help protect young leaf buds from mechanical damage, insect attack, or extreme experimental conditions such as strong wind and heavy rain. The second is assisting in photosynthesis. In some plants, stipules contain chlorophyll and contribute to photosynthesis, although their role is not as significant as that of the main leaf. The third is modified for additional function. In certain species, stipules are modified into spines, such as in acacia plant, to deter herbivore, or tendril, such as in pea plant, to aid in climbing. The fourth is aiding germination. Aiding germination is in certain plant species, stipules assist in the arrow of young leaves by shielding them until they are strong enough to develop independently. And five is reducing excessive water loss. Some types of stipules help minimize water loss by covering the base of leaf or buds, which are vulnerable to dehydration. The last is interacting with insects. In some plants, stipules are adapted to attract pollinators or protect the plant from herbivores. Next is types of stipules. First, in intrapetular stipules is located between two adjacent petiole and often fused. The second is interpetiolar stipule, found between two adjacent petiole and may fuse to form a sheath or spines. The third is lateral stipules, grow separately at the base of the petiole. The fourth is tendrilar stipule, is modified into tendril to help plant climb. The fifth is arcuate stipule, form a sheath that surround the stem and petiole. The sixth is foliaceous stipules, resemble regular leaf and function in photosynthesis. The seventh is spinous stipules, modified into spines for protection. And the last is exstipulate plant, or without stipule, do not have stipule, must compound leaf plant. This is a picture of the types of supporting leaf or stipule. There is frilateral, interpetiolar, intrapetiolar, foliaceous, scaly, spiny, arcuate, adnate, and tendrilar. And this is a picture of a plant that has supporting leaf or stipule. The example is noni or Morinda citrifolia is stipula interpetiolus, and peanut or Arachis hypogaea is stipula liberal, and rose is stipula adnate. At least after the material, the conclusion is leaf are plant organ that primarily function is photosynthesis, respiration, and transpiration. They grow begins from leaf primordia and develops into a mature form with diverse variation. Based on their structural competence, leaf consists of a blade, petiole, and sheath. Leaves are also classified into simple and compound types. The variation in leaf shape include general form, pip, base, and margin, which can be round, pointed, blunt, and serrated. Leaf venation pattern varies, such as pinnate, palmate or parallel, influencing the distribution of nutrient and water. Additionally, leaf texture can be thick or thin, with surface that may be smooth, hairy, or waxy. Leaf joints allow curtain movement, while stipules function to protect young buds. The morphological diversity reflects plant adaptation to the environment and support their physiological function. That's all from me. I go back to moderator. Thank you.